Let's get everybody.
Starting with consent?
Yes. Yep.
I just want to state in the public packets, 86 in there should really be 87. I misnumbered it. And those?
Yep.
Okay, so,
Anybody else have questions on anything other than number 8? Tara?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine, thank you.
Let's approve the minus the payment bills. Can I get someone to offer everything except for number 8?
I will offer on the consent agenda, everything except number 8.
Okay, in a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye?
Okay. Number 8?
I see a lot of expenses to the fire department still associated with the water pipe damage. When is that work going to be completed? Because it seems like it pops up a lot.
We're hoping soon. The electrician's been there. Joe might know better. We're hoping soon. They're still in there working.
And my question to that is, I mean, it's $8,000, then you have another $3,000 in cabinetry. Is that all being covered by the insurance claim?
That's where the servers are going, like there's computer servers.
Okay, but is it all being covered
Yeah.
by the insurance? Okay.
Yes.
And the electrical is being covered by the insurance?
Bonner has insurance.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
take a look. I'm
Yeah, if
sure
I can get
most of
verification of that,
is-
that's great then.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as it's being covered by the insurance.
Yep.
so anybody want to make a motion to offer the payment of bills?
I'll offer it.
Offered by Mr. Card,
I'll second that.
seconded by Ms. Ryan. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Card?
Yes.
Sorry, we're out of first and seconds for you guys.
Yeah.
Just how it has to be.
Okay, then we go to resolution R-1565.
Okay, tonight we're going to be tabling this as the mayor's not present, nor is Kevin Redmond. So may I have a motion to table?
I'll table it.
Offered by Mr. Card,
I'll second that.
seconded by Ms. Ryan. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Resolution R-1575, resolution authorizing application to local finance board.
I'll make a motion.
Offered by Ms. Kane,
I will second it.
seconded by Mr. Card. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Resolution R-1576, resolution awarding professional services for the master plan. We would need to announce the name and dollar amount.
Did we get any recommendations from the planning board on this?
Yes, we did. It's attached to the resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in the packet. Okay. Carolyn, do you want to read off?
We have received 3 RFPs, Mazer Consulting, $49,965, Hire Gruel and Associates, $50,000, T&M Associates, $48,900.
So we would make a recommendation to bring on T&M Associates as the low bid, and that was also, I believe, the board's.
Correct, the planning board's recommendation.
That was what the planning board recommended. That's what they voted
Correct.
on.
I'm not going to second that because I don't agree. So I don't know where that puts us.
Well, I mean, I can second it,
Yes.
and then we can vote.
Yep.
Okay?
So Ms. Ryan offered it?
Yes. Oh, I don't know.
Are you?
I mean, I can give a statement tomorrow why I won't.
I'm really torn on this, but I will offer it.
Offered by Ms. Ryan,
I will second it.
seconded by Ms. Kane, and that would be for T&M Associates. Mr. Card?
Before I cast my vote, I'm voting no on the grounds that we had the T&M do the master plan before. It's time for a change. T&M does great services in our community. It's no reflection on them, but it's time to bring someone in to give us a new look. I would like that to reflect in the records, and I vote no.
Okay, Ms. Kane?
I am voting yes because unfortunately it went through the whole process numerous times. At this point, we sent it back, we rebid it. It's gone through the process. It's come from the board itself. So although I do believe that sometimes change is better, I think it's done its process. It's the low bidder. And we have talked a little bit offline with changing in the planner itself from T&M. So I will vote yes.
Well, I was also disappointed with this. Nothing against T&M, but I really thought that we were going to go with something new since they have so much business in the town already. Again, we sent this back. We sent it out again. And when I heard what was recommended by the planning board, that they voted 4-3 against anybody new, I really was surprised, but I want to move this along, and I am going to vote yes on it.
Okay, motion carries. Resolution R-1579, resolution approving amendment of temporary budget.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the temporary budget.
Offered by Ms. Kane,
I'll offer it.
second by Mr. Card.
Second. Yes.
Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Resolution R-1585, resolution concerning group medical insurance.
I'll offer this.
Offered by Ms. Ryan,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Kane. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes, and just, just so we could say, because we did speak with them, this is a significant savings to the borough by changing health plans for our employees.
For both.
Okay, and I'm voting yes also. We had a presentation tonight, and it's significant savings to both the employees and the town itself.
Okay, resolution R-1587, resolution approving retirement of borough employee, that would be Wayne O'Neill.
I'll offer it.
Offered by Mr. Card,
I'll second that.
second by Ms. Ryan. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan.
Yes.
Okay, then I believe we were going to add a resolution, R-1588.
You want to speak with that? to that?
Resolution appointing T&M Associates Special Engineering Consultant for FEMA reimbursement services. Whereas T&M has demonstrated experience in providing engineering consulting services for the purposes of FEMA reimbursement. Therefore, be it resolved that the governing body appoints T&M Engineering as special FEMA reimbursement engineering consultants at an amount not to exceed $25,000.
And if I can just talk to this a little, this is stemming from meetings we've been having with our Bathgate firm, really trying to get our PWs in line, in check, and make sure that we close the gap on getting them done. Really, we need an engineer to look at all these PWs, making sure the numbers are correct, and making sure they're in the system already, but making sure that we're up to date and as accurate, and really trying to just close in on it and move things faster. We're trying to speed up the process of getting the PWs in, done, and using Kim Gonzalez, our purchasing agent, who also has extensive experience with FEMA and the project worksheets. Can I have does anybody want to offer?
I'll offer it.
Offered by Mr. Card,
A second?
second by Ms. Kane.
Yes.
Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution R-1578, the introduction of our 2015 municipal budget, and we would be setting a public hearing date for May 6th.
Okay, I'll offer this.
Offered by Ms. Ryan,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Kane. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
And I don't know if we want to have Pat just speak. Do you want to speak to a little bit, or where the process is at?
Sure. Tonight, we're introducing our municipal budget, then we're going to be sending this document down to the state of New Jersey and applying for the CDBG Essential Grant. We're looking to apply for, hopefully, $1.1 million, if not more. That should help offset any use of any surplus we have. We feel pretty favorable about that. We have a public hearing set for May 6th. The only delay here is that they won't give us an answer till June. So we're going to be in a little bit of a holding pattern here, amending our temporary budget from time to time. But hopefully I can present some good news to you guys.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay. On for to the introduction, setting up a public hearing date of April 1st is ordinance 0-15-12, refunding bond ordinance authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $2,600,000 aggregate principal amount of general obligation refunding bonds by the Borough of Highlands in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, to the Monmouth County Improvement Authority, MCIA, for the purpose of refunding certain bonds hereto therefore issued by the borough to the MCIA.
Okay, what will the public hearing date be?
April 1st?
1st or 6th?
First.
First, thank you.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Offered by Ms. Kane, seconded by Mr. Card. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
On for introduction and setting of a public hearing date for April 1st is ordinance 0-15-13, an ordinance calendar year 2015 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Pat, do you want to speak to this a little
Sure,
bit?
I can, yeah. This is kind of standard in procedure. What it enables us to do is to raise our cap to 3.5% instead of 1.5%. But the most important thing about this ordinance, it enables us to carry a cap bank. So if we ever need the use of using any cap money, that a cap bank is set aside for 3 years. This budget's presented about 1.5 million below our cap right now. So, but this is a good thing to have.
I'll offer it.
Offered by Mr. Card,
I'll second this.
seconded by Ms. Ryan. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
On for introduction, setting of a public hearing date for April 1st is ordinance 0-15-14, an ordinance amending Schedule A of Chapter 17-2 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Highlands to amend the list of parcels within the Business Improvement District to account for the combining of certain parcels as a result of the redevelopment of Block 108, Lots 1 and 2.01, and 2.02, and 2.03.
In English, that means
It adds, yes.
that CBS and Quick Check,
CBS and the Quick Check.
they were 4 lots, they're now 2 lots.
Okay.
So we just need to change it.
Okay. I have no problem with that. I'll make a motion.
Offered by Ms. Kane,
And I'll second it.
seconded by Ms. Ryan. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
The next up is ordinance 015-7. I believe we're going to table it.
We're tabling 7 and 8.
7
We
and
do
8.
one motion, table them together.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to table 015-7 and 015-8.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
On for second reading and public hearing is ordinance 0-15-9, an ordinance, this one's good. An ordinance accepting a sanitary sewer easement for Block 1, Lot 9.01 from the Charles Couture Irrevocable Trust, Rosario Couture Irrevocable Trust, Charles Paul Couture Irrevocable Trust, and Paul Couture Irrevocable Trust. This
Okay,
was published in the February 27th edition of the Two River Times.
And this is also associated with the Polpay
Yes.
Builders. Okay. All right, public hearing. Anybody have questions on 059? Nobody? Okay.
Okay. On for final reading and adoption is ordinance 0-15-9, an ordinance accepting a sanitary sewer easement for Block 1, Lot 9.01 from the Charles Couture Irrevocable Trust, Rosario Couture Irrevocable Trust, Charles Paul Couture Irrevocable Trust, and Paul Couture Irrevocable Trust.
Okay, can I get a motion to adopt?
I'll offer that.
Offered by Ms. Ryan,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Card. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
On for second reading, public hearing is ordinance 0-14-10.
It's 15.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
15-10. An ordinance accepting a sanitary sewer easement.
No.
I got the wrong one. An ordinance replacing section 3-2 of the Borough Code noise in its entirety. This was published in the March 1st.
Okay, should I'll open the public hearing?
Yeah.
Let's start, okay.
Who's up first?
Well, I think you were first hand up.
Hi.
Go for it. We'll start on this side
Now we'll
first.
fight for hands. I agree in having a noise ordinance. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the times, though. I am asking, like I did the last time, on a Friday night, to extend it to 11 p.m. Reason being is the warmer weather's coming, summer's coming. People don't get down here to the shore. This is the best season, come the warm weather. By the time the people get down here or eat, you're talking 7:30, 8 o'clock. I would like to extend Friday and Saturday night till at least 11 o'clock. That's the only thing I ask on the ordinance, for the weekend to help the businesses, at least for that.
Right,
You know, after that, we want, for us, I just would like it till 11 o'clock on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, Joe, we extended it till what time was there anything on
On
Friday?
weekends until,
9 o'clock on Sundays.
Okay, and I think you might be the first time we've had that asked.
Yeah, I asked in the last time, but because if you decided to do it another time,
Yeah.
you can't,
You were at the meeting at Wind and Sea that Danny hosted, and it was brought up the time frame then, and in good faith, you guys made a very good argument about the time frame. We adjusted it. We're not saying no to not adjusting it in the future. I think we had to come up with a compromise, and I think it's a fair compromise at this point in time. So I cannot endorse changing it any more than what we have already, but not to say that we're not going to explore it in the future. This is not something that we're going to say.
there was only one person that asked for it to be extended on Sunday till 9 o'clock. Nobody else did.
Actually, it was quite a few of the businesses.
No,
did.
absolutely.
Individually came up to me, and actually Kevin Lemon is not here. I can't speak
Yeah,
to
but
it.
it wasn't up for discussion. I've always mentioned 11 o'clock on a Friday night and a Saturday night. The summer's coming, that's the best for all businesses, even on a Friday and Saturday night till 11 o'clock.
You would want the businesses to
Okay,
flourish
you
in the
gotta-
town.
One at a time, please.
Yeah, it really is the best till 11 o'clock. Honestly, that's the only thing I've been asking for all along.
Okay. Next, are you done, Rita?
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes.
Next, is there anybody on this side?
Well, can I say something?
You
'Cause
can
I'm
just let us know your name and address.
Geraldine Fiore,
Okay.
158 Linden. I'm just curious because we want to bring more people into the town, and it's kind of died out commercially after Hurricane Sandy, residentially even.
Right.
And we're right by C Street. I speak for Havana actually right now, and I just believe that closing the noise ordinance, bringing it down to an earlier level, it's not good for business. It's just not good to bring the people into the town. You know what I mean? Don't you want to have more people like, oh, the Highlands is nice, let me go there, let me move there?
Right. No, I was under the impression we had extended it just, well, the Sunday was the need and the ask.
No, I've been asking for 11 o'clock, even my last meeting, I asked for
Oh,
11 o'clock.
I didn't know that, but.
I did not know that either. Now, I want to make it clear, Doug, what are the hours now?
7,
Within this new ordinance that you're proposing?
I believe it's till 10 p.m. on
10
10
p.m.
p.m. 10 p.m. on
10.
Friday.
On Friday nights and
Friday
Sunday?
nights.
Friday and Saturday nights.
For outdoor.
For outdoor?
Yeah, because I thought
Like-
we
I thought you can have
extended
music
it.
in
Outdoor.
Yeah, but the problem is that after 10 o'clock, if they hear noise 100 feet from your property, if people have music inside, if you hear the noise 100 feet from your property, I'm gonna get a ticket for $250.
Let me.
That's, you have to
Yeah.
understand
Let me
that's a little absurd I'm just saying, Doug, on a Friday and Saturday night, the summer is coming, it's a little crazy 10 o'clock at night, I'm sorry, I'm just asking for an hour.
We gave you an hour. We gave you to 10 o'clock, and more important, what you.
It was
I think-
always till
excuse
10
me,
o'clock.
You have to understand something. This is a complaint-driven noise ordinance. Okay, so if your noise is managed correctly within your establishment and nobody's filing a complaint, then you don't have a problem.
There's only one person.
That's not true. And this can be validated, if Chief would like to speak to that matter, that there's been several complaints about several businesses in town, and this has been a compromise that we've been working on for 9 months. And I think we're trying to move in the right direction. I think the underlying note you have to remember, it's a complaint-driven ordinance, okay? Nobody's gonna be sitting out there 100 feet away saying, well, I hear noise, therefore you get a ticket. If you manage your noise correctly, I think we're gonna have a successful situation here. I don't know if it's gonna be perfect. I think we need to put something on the books that allows the police officers and the chief to do his job, as well as the business owners to be able to be successful. There's a lot of issues going on in this town that, I apologize. Geraldine is brought up, where all the businesses are hurting. We're not here to hurt you.
It's seasonal is why, and people come here
Not
as
disagreeing
a
with you.
resort area. It's like kind of a resort area. It's a
Not
seasonal
disagreeing with
area.
you. Maybe you should talk to
I
Carla
know
about
that,
marketing.
Benny's homes and stuff, but it is a seasonal area, and that's what brings the money in. And it's not just about the townies, it's about bringing the money in, so you can bring in more retail, and you don't have a ghost town going up and down Bay Avenue. The more people that you draw in, the more it's going to be more enticing to another retailer to say, hey, let me rent that Twin Lights or that Tap House thing, or, excuse me for my illiteracy, but all those empty buildings, that looks terrible. And if you bring in the people, and you say you're going to close at 10 o'clock, who's going to go and listen to a band at 6 o'clock at night?
Doesn't say close.
I'm just saying, no one's going to come to listen to a band at 6 o'clock at night. I apologize, people work.
But that's not the hours.
No, 6 o'clock it starts, then it ends at 10.
10.
Like, people go to dinner at 7, 8 o'clock, maybe even 9 o'clock on a Friday, and then it's over. And, we, like I said, we also have the C Street customers, and that they're in the summer their last boat lands I think at 10:45, and they're gonna miss out. And they walk past and they come in, they go, wow, this is kind of a cool place. I would love to have a condo here. Maybe let's get a condo here, because then I could still work in the city and maybe live here, because this is kind of more suburban for me. I could raise my children here. They think it's cool. Like, it's not cool if you close at 10 o'clock on Friday night. That's just my opinion. But I also, I'm also a commercial and residential real estate appraiser. I'm telling you, location. This is a resort area. And you're going to have all these really stringent rules. It's kind of,
I think what
Point Pleasant tried the same
I think
thing.
what you need to do is direct your conversation towards Carla and the business partnership, who's responsible for marketing the whole town. This is a noise ordinance dealing with an issue that this community's had, and it's, again, focused on what the issue we're here is. It's not restricting you from having music after 10 o'clock. It's telling you you have to manage it. And if you have to indoor space, Havana, I know the restaurant, has indoor space. Manage your space, and you still can have music. So it's not telling you you have to close your business. We're just asking you manage it so it's cohesive, just like you said, between the community, so people do want to live here. Okay?
I just say it's more enticing, but that's my last point.
All right. Stacy?
Yes, Stacy Pritchard, 130 Bay Avenue. I would like to say that I'm looking forward to this finally getting passed, having lived right next door and still living right next door to the empty building of Twin Light Tap House. And that is so much closer than the 100 feet. They had always managed their music there, and it was never a bother to us. And I appreciate it, but I lived right next door. It's an old building. It isn't necessarily thick walls.
Right.
That can be done. And he was always respectful as a business owner. He had music many times past 11 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights regularly. Had very strong business there, and was always mindful of the neighbors to make sure that we were not disturbed. So it can be done.
It can, but we have plexiglass walls, that's the problem, and
Okay.
I apologize for it.
All right, Stacy, you done?
Yes.
Good? Barb?
Yeah, Barbara Iannucci, 28 Shrewsbury Avenue. I'm a little confused as to the concern for the hours, because I think that this improves upon the current noise ordinance hours, so it extended it by another hour. I'm concerned by going now, and the last hearing said, well, let's make it an hour more, and now we're here, well, let's make it another hour more. Is this going to delay the process just because every time we have a meeting we decide to throw another caveat in and say, well, let's change it to 11, and then let's change it to 11:30? I'm asking the attorney that if you change the hours, does that mean you can not proceed tonight?
Yes.
Okay, so I do see that as a tactic, because it was addressed at several roundtable meetings for 9 months. It was addressed at the last council meeting, where the council was willing to put it off the table to include an additional hour. And also, when I read this language, as with many shore towns and businesses, there is a reason they have set hours for outdoor music, But this language also says, as Councilman Card mentioned, if it's managed. So if you're at a reasonable volume, it could be 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11:30. It's not going to be a problem. But I don't think coming in here and having concert-type volume music is going to make Highlands all of a sudden a successful downtown. So I think we need to recognize this language is very reasonable. And I only say that because it was mentioned that the reason our town is empty is because we're not allowing live music. I don't think that's true. And I think this language has been very reasonable, and we've even delayed the decision that has been going on since May 31st of last year to make it reasonable. So I see nothing wrong with the 10 o'clock, and I don't want it delayed just because somebody now wants it to be 11 o'clock. And that's all I'm going to say for public comment. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Excuse me, I've been asking for 11 o'clock just to let you know from
Rita,
when we talked.
let everybody else go, and then if there's time, we can go back to people who have spoken.
Kim?
Tim Squirka, 315 F Shore Drive. I urge the council to please pass this. It might not be perfect. It might not be what everybody wants. But let's get it passed. Let's implement it. And if it doesn't work, make changes. I'm tired of the delays. I've been going through this for 2 years. Every time I'm told it's going to be introduced, it gets introduced, something changes, it comes off the table, it goes on the table. Pass it. Please. Businesses in this town have been successful without music. Chalango's never has a band, always packed. I hate to bring up the Tap House, but they're a perfect example. Music, no music, always packed. What do they have in common? Great food, great service, great drinks. That's what you need to be successful in the restaurant industry. I know. I have family in the restaurant industry. Very close to it. Very close friends with the owner of the Tap House. You don't have to have an outdoor concert to be successful. And if you want a 12th location, restaurant is on the main drag where hundreds, if not thousands of cars pass Monday through Friday. Find a way, work with the business partnership to get these commuters into our town. I know, I come home, I drive by a lot of places, I just want to get home. Somehow you got to find a way to attract these people to stay in our town and spend their money here. Somehow, someway. Please, please pass this. We'll fix it later.
Anybody else?
May I interject?
Let me do everybody first once, and then, go ahead.
Melissa Peterson, 17 Bay Street. I kind of like to see resolution of this. I think we have bigger and better things to work on in Highlands right now. We've been working on this 9 months. Let's put it to rest. I agree that it's a ghost town, but I think that there's other reasons that it is a ghost town. I think it's fair and reasonable. Off the Hook, Friday night, had 2 guys playing inside. Couldn't even hear them outside. They were very similar to you with the plexiglass. They were a great band.
But they're up on the hill.
So sitting outside, I should be able to hear them. But still, they have condos right on the other side. You can't hear a band, 2 guys playing from the outside bar and the inside bar. That's management of the sound. And it was actually, I was actually thinking of you guys because it was a really good band. And they're not that loud. If you can't hear the sound, that's a really good thing.
Okay, Joe, do you want to chime in? Prefer to hear your opinion on everything.
My opinion, well, I won't, not my
Give us
personal
your
opinion. Councilman Card, Councilman Redmond, Steve Zalicki, who I'll call our resident expert. We've looked at, we spent a lot of time on this. We looked into a lot of ordinances. Before the hurricane, I pulled every PD from Point Pleasant to Keyport. And really, this is the best we could come up with. I think, as somebody stated, I think we should pass it and maybe discuss the times at a later date, because we need to start somewhere.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, you
I was going to add to that. What we failed to say too is we're going to do training for this new noise ordinance, and we're going to invite the businesses with Steve's, another guy from Rutgers, I don't know his name. But the goal here is to help the businesses manage their sound systems, because it is difficult. It's not an easy thing. You said it, plexiglass, balances, whatever. The key thing is here, fortunately for Highlands, we have a state-recognized expert He knows his stuff inside and out. Let's utilize him. He wants to help the community. When we get the training up to speed, or when we get it coordinated, we're going to invite the business owners so everybody has a better understanding of how to manage it. And I think that's the key thing. We're not here to hang anybody by no means, but at the same time, make it a cohesiveness. We got to start somewhere.
I just want to say this one thing, because she brought up Chilengos. And Chilengos, we do the extended premise permit for the parking lot on Cinco de Mayo or whatever, and we wanted to do it for 3-4 days at a time. And we were getting bad feedback from that because there was too much noise. And it was like going too late and people didn't like it or whatever. And La Playa, which brought in a lot of business and a lot of C Street customers, came off. And C Street won't do it again because they don't want to deal with the politics like this scenario. And it really did bring in different types of demographics into this town. I know that you think that, you know, that's not what's making it a ghost town or whatever, but it kind of has a hand in it. Like everything has a hand in the social situation, and this does, you know. And I know this sounds ridiculous and menial, but 1 hour is going to make a difference. It really is, and we can manage our time, and we will get the machinery or whatever we need to, you know, make it a little lower or whatever we need to, or a buffer wall or whatever is necessary. But I just feel that it's too early. It's just a little too early for a Friday and Saturday night. I could see Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday is like, you know, it's a day of peace. It really
Give it a
is.
shot, keep track of your numbers, and come back to the council.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we'll move forward, we'll vote, and we're going to give the chief an opportunity to let us know how it's working, how it's not working, give us reports, and then we'll go from there. Because I think, it's okay. Dan?
I agree. Yeah, I think we should vote on it
And then
and
an
ask
hour
them
is
for
an
me and
hour.
see how it goes.
Adjust it later.
If it doesn't work, then we come back and talk about it.
Right. I think that's fair and
We
reasonable.
need to do something.
So, anybody else for public hearing? Chief?
Just so I know too, there's also built into the ordinance, the very first time, there's a grace period.
Okay.
Also, so the first day, you know, if somebody complains and we get out and it's too loud, we don't just hand you a ticket the first time. You're going to be, there's a warning. So, and that might help a little bit too.
Warning's good.
Warning's good.
Okay, great. Anybody else?
On for final reading and adoption is ordinance 0-1510, an ordinance replacing section 3-2 of the Borough Code, noise and its entirety.
Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Offered by Ms. Ryan,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Card. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Motion carries. On for second reading and public hearing at this time is ordinance 0-15-11, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 0-15-11, accepting various deeds and easements from Madison Capital Partners LLC and Sandy Developers LLC. This was published in the March 9th edition of the Aspen Park Press. Is ready for public hearing.
Public hearing, this also has to do with the multi-project and Jim Bowman. Anybody? Hearing none, I'll close public hearing.
On for final reading and adoption is ordinance 0-15-11, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 0-15-5, accepting various deeds and easements from Madison Capital Partners LLC and Sandy Developers LLC.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Offered by Ms. Kane,
Second it.
second by Mr. Card. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
That takes us to other business, starting with Borough Engineer Status Report.
And other than I noticed it's not a spreadsheet yet.
Oh, yeah. So we'll start off with the large stormwater system improvement project. Plans have been revised and submitted to the NJ DEP as required for the EIT loan. The permit applications are currently being reworked to get them back in and get approved. Still on schedule to go to construction later this year. As I said in the past, the start date will vary depending on whether we get the resiliency grant that we applied for, or the you know, if we have to go with the EIT loan. If it's EIT loan, it'll be more of a fall advertisement, just from their time frame. North Street Pump Station, the final project design is underway. Construction is anticipated to start later this year as well. We should have those plans complete within a month back to the borough and at the bid. The replacement of the Bay Street retaining wall in front of 8 Bay Street. Spoke to the contractor today. The precast is about 3 weeks out with finalizing his panels. We did have an issue with the original submittal. The loading was too light on the panels themselves, so we had them revise and resubmit the calculations. That took some time getting back from them. Now that they've been approved, they said they're about 3 weeks out. So right now, looking best case scenario, about 3rd, 4th week in April to get out there and do that work. Service has to be relocated, and they can drive their H-piles and then put the panels in. I know there's a meeting scheduled tomorrow with the property owner and my lead inspector to go over the staining of the wall for a color choice, and then that'll be pretty much the last piece of the puzzle until the panels actually are ready to go. Also in that contract, as you recall, is the extra curbing we're doing along Bay Street. We have to look at a couple of the areas because it does drop off rather quickly. So you can't put a regular curb in because the first car that brushes it or the first pile that hits it, the curb will be down the hill. So we have to look at something a little different there. But I'll work with Mr. Hill on that to come up with a good resolution for that. The Waterwitch Avenue, Linden Avenue Drainage Project, we'll call that the DBIZ pipe. Plans have been completed and submitted to the NJ DOT and Monmouth County for review. We had to go to the DOT for a detour route because we are going to have to close Linden Avenue for a portion, especially when we get to the intersection of Waterwitch. So we have to detour that area for not a long period, but there will be a detour in effect during working hours. Also Monmouth County, because it is a county road, so they're currently under review. As soon as we get those comments back, we can finalize plans and specs and get that project out to bid. Community Center ADA walkway, once we get final approval on the material specification, we can advertise that project. That'll be ready to go. The streetscape project through NJDEA, preliminary design has commenced. Obviously, we're delayed a little bit on the survey side because of the snow along Bay Avenue and Shore Drive. Now that Mother Nature seems to have cooperated a little better, our surveyors are back out there getting underway. We're still on schedule to go to construction in the spring, late spring. And then also, I want to hold a meeting with the business owners just to go over, what the proposed improvements will look like. So if I can get assistance getting that scheduled, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, Dale, that was a big concern of the business owners, that the interruption to their business, and I've expressed that to Carla, and I think you have as well. And we're definitely going to be coordinating a meeting with them.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. At the end of the day, it's going to be a much better look for everybody. But, obviously, they will be impacted to an extent, during construction. We're going to make sure they saw full access and everything. Plus, I want them to see what the improvements are going to look like as well. So nobody's blindsided, everybody has the same vision. Resurfacing of Shore Drive Phase 2. That's Waterwitch Avenue to Locust. That design is underway. That has a $200,000 grant from DOT that we need to award a contract by July. We wind up forfeiting it. So that'll be advertised this spring with construction this summer. And then the last project that's on here is the Shrewsbury Avenue rehab, coupled with the North Street storm sewer inflow pipe replacement. We made these as one project because of the close proximity. It'd be easier for scheduling, and also you get a better price on it. The Shore Drive project is more of a rehab project for the roadway. Some concrete is needed. We have a $210,000 grant for that through DOT. And then the other portion of that is the North Street storm sewer inflow pipe. I mean, that pipe is in real bad shape. It has been for years. We do have $178,000 from Monmouth County Community Development for that, and that road will be replaced when we replace the pipe, because you're pretty much going to lose the entire road. We rip the pipe out anyway due to the size of the pipe and the narrowness of the road. And that's pretty much my report for tonight.
So I think, in my opinion, it's all good stuff. As much as I don't want to be a big construction zone this summer, I think it's the best thing for us.
Move ahead.
It's going to be, it's very good for us moving ahead. Anybody have any questions for Dale?
No.
Sarah? Good?
Not today,
All
but
right.
I would like to be at that meeting.
The business partnership meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you.
That might
Whatever you guys want.
here. I think the community might want to know too.
Yeah.
Because the community's going to be.
Open it up a little more.
A listen, if it's to the council's pleasure, we
Well, why
can
don't
do
we just, when can you have it together? Why don't we just have you do a presentation before?
That's what I was just gonna suggest,
Because
you
then
can
you
do
have to
a
have a special
presentation, an
meeting
open
to have
meeting,
us
or
all
whatever.
somewhere.
At a council meeting, or
Invite everybody.
however you guys wanna work it, it's fine.
I think at a council meeting would work,
I
right?
think it would be a work.
Yeah, because then we'd
I
have to
agree.
have a special meeting just to have us all in the room, so.
That's fine.
I think there'll be
Probably works out
isolated
easier.
special meetings with certain businesses.
That's fine, but
That's
to let
second.
Well, I
Right
anticipated that too,
Yeah.
because some businesses will be directly impacted, others will be, you know,
Right.
in
We
the
can
close
do a once
proximity.
over on the project and kind of let them know and.
No doubt about it.
But the residents need to know also
Sure.
what's happening.
Thank you, Dale.
Okay. Okay, Tara, R14-220, discuss possible amendments.
Well, last meeting, we had made the report, Stacy and I, but I had asked for input, and I want to hear, I've heard from Rebecca, you read me your statement, and I know Doug and I spoke about it, he's going to talk also, but I want input from the other, council.
Yeah.
So we're not voting on anything, it's just a discussion and let people hear what we're thinking and have to say. Okay, so,
To this matter, I'd like to discuss, but I would ask Tim Hill as well as Becky to provide the facts to why the decision was made based on the 2 to 3 hours. Tim, I know you expressed that post-approval of this resolution that things got better. I would like to see that documentation to prove that, because in my opinion, as we'll discuss it, I can't discuss something without the facts behind it. And I think this has issues, my vote's been expressed. I would like the facts.
okay, you want the facts of why it was written. That's
Yeah.
not what I was asked to.
I know that.
Right, so I'm not a part of that,
Yeah.
okay?
I think
What
it's-
Stacy
I
and I
think-
were working on
Right,
was
it's the
something,
verbiage.
was the verbiage of the resolution.
Right, I think this should be something that should be in the employee handbook without question.
Yes, and we
Okay,
made a
not
very
a
strong
resolution.
recommendation that there should be, certainly there should be something in the employee handbook, as there is in almost every municipal
Correct.
handbook, instructing employees how, and elected officials how to conduct themselves on social media. So, if you want, I can pull some examples.
We have items that
You
do
have?
address it,
Okay.
and make sure you get a copy of what's
All right,
already addressed,
okay.
and if you feel it needs to go further, then we'll.
Okay,
expand
I
it
would
further.
like that, thank you, thank you.
Okay, and Mike, are you done?
Yeah, I mean, as long as
Okay.
it's hard to discuss something when you don't have the facts.
Okay. The only changes I had were to the fifth whereas.
Okay.
You want to go that way?
All right, fifth whereas.
The verbiage that I would change would just be whereas the governing body further finds it necessary to adopt protocols for its elected officials, employees, and volunteers who are appointed to formal committees or positions by the governing body, so that statements posted to that site by those individuals are not misrepresented as official statements of the Borough of Highlands. It was basically more of defining the volunteer role, because in my opinion, you do have the fire department, the first responders, people like that were considered unpaid employees, really. I mean, and, we should be held to the same standards, so.
I beg to differ. We're going to discuss. I beg to differ. I'm an elected official. Am I an employee or am I an elected official?
Yeah, well,
So if I'm an employee, but, okay, so is the fire department then, because they get length of service awards points. They're employees, but there's many postings now on Facebook on a regular basis without disclaimer.
Well, I have no problem dropping
This-
a disclaimer.
My issue is a violation of your freedom of speech. If you're an employee, you sign an employee handbook, okay? If you don't like what's being said about you or anybody on that Facebook or any social media, not just Facebook, we should not, they should eliminate the word Facebook, it should be social media. Just turn the page, turn it off, okay? If you're an elected official, something's being said about you, then don't be in a public eye. If that's all it comes down to. Mayor Nolan said it best, if you don't like the channel, change it. Why is it our responsibility to censor communication? It's freedom of speech. Some of it's not good, some of it is. Simple as that. I'm elected by the people, and I communicate to them in multiple forms. And I don't think I should have to be censored by any resolution. You're censoring. You're censoring.
Okay, that's, everybody, can
an
say
opinion,
what,
but it's
I
a
don't
censor.
happen to believe that this stepped on anybody's personal freedoms. I also didn't think it was necessary, you know, I mean, I
still
you know, I really, but the mayor asked me to do a specific job, and I did it, so, if
And I'll
you can
email
send me
you
the,
verbiage.
electronic, I'm gonna wait for Kevin and Frank and Stacy. If you don't mind, we'll get back together, okay, and see, if we change anything or not, okay? And we'll come to, at the next meeting, I'll contact Frank and Kevin to get their verbiage. All right, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, New Jersey Recreation Trails Green Acre Program. Tim?
Yeah, we did get notification that the Green Acres Trail Program grant is available. Generally, they're looking for larger scale projects, but you can see, and also Bruno Associates, who is our new grant writing firm, they did send us notification on that as well, so we'll be speaking to them to see if they feel it's a good fit for us.
Okay, great. Tara, I believe you're going to table the review of website RFP
Yeah,
for Kevin and the mayor?
because they're not here and I haven't heard their comments.
Okay.
So Doug called me and spoke to me about, you know, your comments, but if you could both put it in writing?
Yeah,
All
that's
right, just send me, and I'll talk to Frank and Kevin again, and at the next meeting, we'll do that review.
Okay,
Hey,
perfect.
Tim, the Bruno Associates, like you did, when Lenny, if they came in and did the presentation, is this something that we want to explore? So we get, as a governing body, we get a better understanding what they're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
for us?
Oh, he'd
Oh,
love it.
he'd love to
Yeah,
come, so
yeah, well,
that's
so
not a
why don't
problem.
we bring them, okay?
Yeah, no, we can set that up. We're waiting for the formal agreement.
Cool.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, great. Public portion. Dave Toro, 46 Shrewsbury.
Yes,
How are you?
how you doing? Council, I don't believe I know some of these, not others. I'm a local. I couldn't get down to Highlands today. I work a lot of hours. Most of you guys know me. I'm a commercial fisherman. I ran the plant for a few years, back when our product got to our own restaurants. I did a little survey today, and not one clam from our plant goes to any restaurant in our town. Doesn't go to anywhere in this area, and none of our local supermarkets anymore. I remember years ago when I ran it, that it went to everybody. And I think it even made it to our own Clam Fest, which doesn't happen anymore either. Having Virginia clams at a Highlands Clam Fest is, just ain't right. Especially since you have one of the best clam facilities and beds in the entire country as far as I'm concerned. I've had our clams from California to Boston down to Florida. I've had them in every A&P on the East Coast. Just, you know, I would like the opportunity for you guys to read this and for me to come back to answer any questions and make another statement. The Baymen have ran that clam plant into the ground. It's a mess. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. The short and long of it is, if you continue to give it to the fishermen that are running it now, there won't be any clam plant. There is no sales department. The place is always closed. I can tell you right now how much yellowfin costs in Boston right now. I can tell you how many crabs were landed on the whole entire east coast of New Jersey today. And I can tell you how many clams they're going to catch in our clam plant tomorrow, just by the weather, within a few bushel. And I can tell you, I can get that plant back to the way it used to be, and our clams back on everybody's shelves. And I can make a lot of money for the town. You can look at my numbers. And this isn't something that I'm telling you I'm going to do. This is something I have done. So, you know, I would love to come back and talk to you all when you have some questions.
Okay, well,
And I will answer any questions that you have, especially about me, my past, or otherwise. But you have a recommendation there from an ex-mayor and Jay Cosgrove. I couldn't get a hold of Ricky in time, but I'm just letting you know, you have a really good commodity down there, and it's just wasting away. I can tell you one thing, what you're looking for, there's no body going to come in here and tell you how to run a clam plant. There's only 3 in the entire country. There's 1 in Maine, there's 2 here. And Walter and the clammers don't get along now, and they're not going to get along in the future. I don't know whether they like me or not, but, you know, I did a pretty good job when I was there. At least I think I did. I think the last year I was there, I sold 31 million clams, more than anybody on the entire East Coast and the whole state of Virginia. And one more thing. I care about that clam plant. Jimmy White was a good personal friend of mine, and I just want to see it succeed. I think these guys, you know, just letting it waste away to nothing. I mean, the last time I ran it with one hand tied behind my back. I mean, I'm just letting you know, I can make this a lot of money. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Kim Skorka, 315 Shore Drive.
Kim Skorka, 315 Shore Drive, thank you for passing the noise ordinance. I'll finally sleep well. As for R14-220, I really think it's not a good idea to put volunteer in it, because when you did, you lost at least 2, and there are probably countless others in Highlands who would like to volunteer, but they appreciate social media and don't want to have to watch their back. I'll tell you personally, I feel sometimes when I post on Facebook that my position on the Finance Committee is in jeopardy. Now, I asked what the ramifications were, and I was told there are none. But what if I say the wrong thing? What if I piss off the mayor? I could be off that Finance Committee tomorrow, and while you say it doesn't restrict free speech, frankly, that's a restriction. My fear of repercussions. Even though there are none, you never know. So enough on that. I want to know the status of the rain barrel project and what the next step is, and also the status of Veterans Park, only because somebody did ask on Facebook. And I had some knowledge because I volunteered to help tear it down, and I was on the Open Space Committee, so just wondering where we're at with that.
I'll handle rain barrels.
I'll handle Veterans Park.
Rain barrel
I'll let Tim go
program will be implemented this spring. Unfortunately, there's some rumors out there that we're not going to be running it. There's been discussions that it's not going to happen. It is going to happen. The actual format of what we're going to be requesting from people has been edited and reviewed and will be going out probably on not on Facebook, but on the borough website next week. And if people want to respond, they certainly can. People knowing that that particular program was out there, we've had really no responses from any, no inquiries, and we expect that this will get things out, and we'll go from there. So we'll be limited in scope. I know there's a lot of other discussion about eligibility and who we're going to be able to service, but the grant was written to perhaps put about 100 rain barrels out there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Veterans Park, obviously it's been a long winter. I've been reaching out to Carla, giving her some breathing room with the parade coming up, but Tri-Bar I've been in communication with. I know Becky with Open Space it's a big target for us to get the boardwalk finished, and that, forgetting Tri-Bar's guy's name. Barry. He's got a little more to do down there, but we're gearing up, and that's going to be hit when the weather breaks in the next 2 to 3 weeks at best. So there's going to be some great improvements there. We were trying to get it done for St. Patrick's Day. The parade, it wasn't going to happen. Winter didn't cooperate.
You okay?
Thank you.
Mr. Francie?
Chris Francie, 3650. A housekeeping thing doesn't count as my question. I'm confused about 1586 and 1587.
Right, now it's 86 in there is really 87.
Numbers were
The number was wrong.
What
And
is,
86 had to do with the sale of lot 72, lot 2, that we auctioned off.
I guess I missed that. What is that?
It's the lot next to 252 Bay Ave between the marina, that little tiny.
Marina on the bay and the house, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on Bay Avenue.
Atlantic Street?
Right up from Atlantic Street.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, my real question is, Mr. Card, you and I talked outside of a meeting, I was going to say in January, talking about Wind and Sea and the bar downstairs and how we were going to be aggressive about making sure that gets dealt with. I haven't heard anything happening, and there's nothing on the zoning board that I see in April or something coming. I'm not sure what's happening with that.
I'll brief on that is, yeah, the council put directions towards Tim, and I know Tim's been diligent working on that, and I think Tim could probably speak better to that matter, but it is an issue that's being addressed. There's, I think, a couple of them that are being muddled through, I guess, because there's some communication going through with what can and cannot be done.
Okay.
So to be clear, the construction office, and zoning official, and fire prevention are working together. The part of the issue is there's been also speculation that they won't be able to open, which isn't true. They'll be able to use their space, but if they're using space that wasn't approved, that's where they're going to have the issue. And the property owners, as far as I know, are well aware of that potential issue for themselves. But we can't force them before the board. And they've all been given notice to get that straightened out. So I think we're in for an interesting outcome on some of the facilities.
Okay.
And some of those business owners have communicated to me directly, and then I've shared that communication with Tim so that everybody's on the same page. Where's that fear, oh, going to put us out of business? No. But if you're breaking the law, you got to comply.
Yeah, I mean, you got a problem with the liquor license, they're gonna come up in June.
Well, I wish the business owners were still here. One thing what I found interesting about the noise ordinance, they didn't bring up the fact that the noise ordinance, if they're in violation over violation over violation,
Can be tied.
tied to
the liquor license.
liquor license. So we're recognizing, we're going to theoretically reward those businesses that do the right thing and penalize those businesses that don't. And I think we're moving in that direction. But we didn't want to target anybody. We did all the businesses, all of them. And it's a little bit laborious. It's been a tough winter. And we only have part-time staff sometimes in the building department, so it's tough coordinating everything. Do I wish it was done sooner? Absolutely, so we were not in the
Be quite honest, just as long as,
And it's on the table. It's on it.
Oh, yeah,
And it's not being taken lightly by us or anybody sitting at this table.
Okay. Sounds good, thank you.
All done, sir? Rita, she's left from Savannah, and Barb?
Okay, Barbara Iannucci, 28 Shrewsbury. Just have to get it off my chest, R14-220 definitely should be repealed. We should not waste any more time, discussion. Tim, the borough administrator, admitted tonight that they have addressed it. They have items addressing this properly. He feels it's covered within the employee manual. He's going to provide documents to the council showing that. So to pass a resolution to explain to residents what social media is and not is, what's official, what's not official, is ludicrous, a waste of our energy, a waste of our resources. Also, Dan, thank you for coming here, or whoever that gentleman was. Dave. To hear that there's only 3 clam plants in the country, to hear businesses complain about an abandoned ghost town, and to not have our town capitalize on the fact that we have a clam declaration plant, and to come up with something to capitalize on that fact as one of 3 in the country is just a shame. And I would hope, I don't know how to get to the master plan on this, I don't know how to get to the mayor and to everyone sitting here, but if you get your business heads together and pull it off, Highlands can be noted for clamming, even if we don't have clammers, because we have a clam plant. And please, I beg you to find a way with business to pull that off. And you own the building, you own the land. Come on now, guys. Get it together. Just do it.
Barbara, we are in the process of doing that. Everybody on the council has been given a job within that whole parameter of moving forward to saying, what do we want for it? I'm going to be, and I am doing research on having perhaps a museum or an education piece.
Definitely.
And marketing, huge marketing.
Huge marketing.
Yes, we are quite aware of it. And it's disappointing that nothing has happened all along, but we certainly are on it now.
Yes, and you should do more than just lease it, like you lease the parking lot to C Street. You blew an opportunity on that part of the town. Not you, but the town has. So I just had to say that on record. And also, we have the May 6th hearing for a budget. The 0-15-13 to raise the cap to 3.5%. I forget what date that was scheduled for hearing.
May I answer that?
Yes.
That would be on the very next council meeting.
That's April 1st.
Right, once we get
April 1st.
Okay. Is that right, Carolyn? Right, to be on the next possible meeting.
Okay. I believe it was in October, the meeting with the mayor, he promised that after the Finance Committee met and they gave their recommendations that there would be a town hall meeting, I would strongly appreciate and recommend that there is some form of a town hall meeting educating the public with the line items of the proposed budget prior to the May 6th hearing. Because it's awfully hard to come in and not have a full understanding of the line items, not have an understanding of what occurred in 2014 versus what's getting proposed for 2015, and just go in blind, and it just comes off as rubber stamping. And I would like the council to make an effort to educate the public and inform the public of what these line items are for the new proposed budget going forward, which would mean you would have to have a town hall meeting prior to May 6th, so that when you're actually voting or having a hearing for the ordinance, people are educated and informed and know what questions to ask and what comments to give. Right now, it could be anybody's guess, and it appears to just be, well, we had last year's budget, everything went up by 5%, here we go, vote aye. And
Well,
I'm not...
It's really not that way, but I know Kim can attest to a lot of work with Pat, and having the town hall meeting's not an issue. I know the mayor
Yes.
did say that he would have one with Pat and the finance committee, so we will let him know that.
Yes, I would
Yeah,
like to
he
see
had
that
said that
scheduled.
in the finance committee meeting that all of this would.
Yes, because last year there was a lot of discussion, and a lot of the other items under others were not clearly defined. People don't know what falls into them, and I think if they understand that and recognize what this large sum of others is, they would be more willing to jump on board for whatever increase you may need, or at least to understand why you voted the way you voted. So that's all I want to say about
Okay,
that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
If I may,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't sign up.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not
Didn't-
signed up.
I didn't realize that.
She didn't sign up.
Okay, what's your address?
Send an email.
130 Bay Avenue, Apartment A, Highlands.
Stacy Pritchard.
Stacy Pritchard.
Okay, go ahead.
With all due respect, with the Rain Barrel Project, there is great interest in the community. With one day, very informal question with very little education about the benefits of such a project, I have had over 45 responses of people saying that they would love to have a rain barrel for their outdoor gardens, which is one of the primary reasons why people use them. That was one day without any education.
Yeah, I would love one.
I don't think there is a rumor out there that the program's not going forward. I think there is community lack of education that we had the program at all. And that is why there has not been, quote unquote, any interest expressed. So, just wanted to set that out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
You good?
Yes.
All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Mr. Card, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?